I'm running as a Democrat because we all know that there is a difference between Democrats and Republicans in Texas. What is that difference? Well, the grand old party will tell you that it's values. And you know what? I agree with them. It is about values. No political party has a monopoly on values, nor do they have a monopoly on morals, ethics, or patriotism. I'm a moral, ethical, patriotic Democrat, and I'm proud of it. Our values are what define us as Democrats. Their values are what defines them as Republicans. And to know the values of a political party, all you have to do is look at their platform. So let's know ourselves first. Democrats today adopted a platform of inclusiveness, a platform that values our children's education, a platform that respects Texas women, and a platform that understands we all belong to one race, and that's the human race. These are our democratic values. Okay, now let's take a quick look at the Republicans' platform. In the preamble, Texas Republicans state this: we still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That sounds pretty good so far, but who do you think Texas Republicans say is created equal and deserving of the pursuit of happiness? Well, if you're gay or lesbian or transgender, they surely aren't talking about you. You see, the Republicans in their platform tell us that they think you're broken and you need to be repaired with therapy. That's the pursuit of happiness that they have in mind for you. And what kind of pursuit of happiness are they thinking of if you're a minority? In their platform, they call it restoring integrity to our elections. But if you read a little further, you're going to find out that the Republicans oppose the use of race for the purpose of creating voting districts. Look, it's not about restoring integrity. It's about making sure that the collective minority voices are not heard in Texas. You know, Ronald Reagan once said, I favor the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and it must be enforced at gunpoint if necessary. I didn't say that, Ronald Reagan did. But when it comes to what I consider the second most important piece of civil rights legislation in the history of our country, the Voter Rights Act of 1965, Texas Republicans want it repealed, not repaired, repealed. That's I just can't take that, and I hope you can't either. Equal representation is evidently not one of those unalienable rights that they think African Americans, Hispanics, and Asian Americans deserve in Texas. Yes, the difference in our parties is definitely about values. Now I want you to compare the candidate that the Republicans have nominated for Texas Land Commission. Compare him with me. You see, with them, you get a name, George P. Bush. With me, you're going to get more than a name, you're going to get real experience. Mr. Bush is building his resume, and the Republicans are doing everything in their power to make sure that the Bush dynasty continues in Texas. I look at a political race sort of like a job interview, not a gift from generous benefactors. I have more than a quarter of a century of business experience and 14 years of public service in municipal government. What's my opponent's qualification? His name. There are more than 1,000 employees at the General Land Office, so it would seem reasonable that you would want someone who's worked in a large organization. My opponent has not. My most recent job was as the mayor of the 6th largest city in the state of Texas, El Paso. We had 6,200 employees and a budget of $750 million a year. Now, my opponent's qualification, his name. When I was elected as mayor of El Paso in 2005, the city's economy was stagnant. We couldn't attract industry because our quality of life had been ignored for too long. Unemployment was high. our downtown was a ghost town. Our transportation system was in shambles, and our parks and open spaces had been neglected for many, many years. Under my leadership, we turned all that around. Today, El Paso is a shining example of economic development. Our downtown is undergoing its renaissance. Our mass transit system has received recognition as the best in the nation. Long neglected highway projects are coming to fruition, and for 5 years in a row, we have been recognized as the safest large city in the nation. What's my opponent's qualification? His name. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I don't think that I can say that about my opponent. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the entire set of silverware. In contrast, I'm a Democrat. I've worked hard for everything I have, and I've worked hard for everything that I've accomplished, and I've worked hard for the people who elected me to public office. I was elected by my peers as the president of the Texas Municipal League, and I was named as the 5th best mayor in the world by a London-based think tank because I stood up for the civil rights of others. What's my opponent's qualification? A name. And if you think that the Republicans just want my opponent to be rewarded with a job as a bureaucrat in Austin, you better think again. This office is nothing more than a stepping stone for another Bush. And we can either take him on now or watch as he's catapulted into running for a higher office in the future. And it doesn't take a damn rocket scientist to see that he is the great hope of the Republican Party to win the Hispanic vote. They know that their base is dwindling, and they know that the demographics of the state will no longer support Anglos who have dominated their party for more than 25 years. And I don't know about you, but I don't think Texas needs another Bush. We've already been bushwhacked a couple of times. We know that the United States doesn't need another warmongering Bush to be the president of the United States. We've been there and done that. And I'm John Cook, and I'm going to turn Texas blue, and I'm going to make sure that I'm the next Texas Land Commissioner, because I won't back down. I'm going to stand my ground.